Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Song of the Crimson Nile, Season 1, Episode 11. The last episode was insane and we went from trauma to sadness, despair, and we kind of went through the stages of grief for our character. And we just saw the first stage of grief with Thea, who is completely oblivious. She does not want to accept that Eastman is gone, and she's actually willing to destroy herself just in hope to could see Eastman again, which is already a sign that she actually needs assistance because she's mentally completely exhausted. I mean, she has already been misusing her opportunities by taking iboga the entire time, so she has been damaging herself for a long time already, and the death of Eastman only added to her already mental sickness. Taking iboga like that, knowing what effect it can actually do to you, is already an insane risk, and she was willing to take it. And last episode she showed that she would not hesitate to do something that could actually kill her. So she needs help, and I hope that somehow we're gonna be capable to help her. But let's see. We decided that we're gonna go on a commission with Ramesses to find out who killed Eastman. So let's see. A necromancy commission almost kills two Sheshmu. Nice. So either we're getting caught or someone is like, you ain't going anywhere. Episode 11, Hunter and Prey. Oh god, this fits perfectly. Eamon and Eva. We're always the prey and he's the hunter. But when we're actually getting enraged, we're the hunter and he's the prey. So sorry. Ramesses looked astonished. Are you sure? Are you sure you're feeling better and want to do this? The art of necromancy. I know that I need a clear head to be able to focus, but I'm sure I can do this. Ramesses frowned, trying to find the right words. It's not that I don't believe you, but I'm not sure if I should believe you. He knows us. Ramesses whispered. At first glance you look fine, wonderful even. But I know for sure that there are so many emotions raging inside you right now that is likely to distract you and agitate the dead, and we need them to be calm. Eva wasn't going to back down. But you'll be there. You'll help me, right? Ramesses tried to look calm. Of course I'll help you. I'm just worried. There's no room for error, and I like to stay alive for many more years. He's like, if you do something wrong, we're gonna die. If they catch you, you know what they'll do to both of us. What they did to our baby Eastman. I know. Suspicion level low. You don't attract too much attention, of course, because I take care of myself. And so do the gems I had. I'm so sorry. The matter was resolved. Ramesses looked at Eva with sympathy and understanding. He and Eastman weren't fond of each other, but that didn't matter. He was sorry too. He carefully tucked a strand of Eva's hair behind her ear, grinning. Since you're so eager to. Ramesses looked around. To go fulfill the commission, it means you're feeling better. Or there's something else to it, but I don't want to know what it is. I'm innocent. Don't worry, Ramesses. People, it's dangerous when people know you that much. Like, they can't stop being friends with you. They know too much. Those bitches know too much. Like, they can't ever stop being friends with you. You don't? Alright, then I won't tell you. She smiled. Ramesses! I love Ramesses. He's cute. The only thing that can make Eva smile is talking about all the reckless things she's planning to do. Oh! Eva shook her head, pulling away from Ramesses' hand. She scoffed. You're annoying. No, you're funny. You're funny. That's why I smiled. Don't look at me like that. So all I need to make you laugh is look at you. Get ready, I'll be staring at you all night. Honestly, Ramesses would make a good boyfriend as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Ramesses has like this power because he knows us that much already. He like is capable to calm us down. He's capable to understand us in ways that nobody else does, because that level of understanding, that level of comfort is something that takes time. So since he already knows us that well, it's easy for him to understand what we need. I have the feeling he could grow into a very good comfort zone. As soon as we feel down or something, he immediately feels it. He's gonna come to us. He's gonna know how to help us feel better. I love this man. Ramesses was obviously talking about the commission. Leave me alone. As soon as you start talking back to me, I'll know for sure you're back to your former self. Eva's expression grew sadder. I'll never be back to my former self. Nothing will ever be the same. I know. It will be different. Not good, not bad, just different. And yet I'm waiting for that moment to come. I feel weird if you're not around, as if I lost my partner in crime. Aww. Yeah, I have the feeling I took a romantic option, but considering the fact that we're close, I didn't want to say he's annoying. He's trying to be cute, and I appreciate that he's trying to make us laugh no matter what. Eva wanted to smirk, maybe make a sarcastic remark, but she was overwhelmed by a wave of sadness. I also lost my partner in crime, but mine will never come back. Ramesses' face! Ramesses suddenly realized what he just said and immediately regretted it. He put his arm around Eva's shoulders. Alright, let's be quiet for a while. I'm just talking nonsense, but hey, you must know very well how that feels, right? Yes, but I'm going to kick your... Oh no, you're not recovered enough to do that. Cute! You're lucky to have such friends. They're lucky to have you too. Aww, love it. They stood there for a while longer. Ramesses raised his eyebrows. Oh, you talked about Livius yesterday. Yes, do you know where he is? He's at the stables. At least I saw him down not long ago. I think he just arrived. Eva quickly headed in that direction. I'll see you later, alright? She quickened her pace to catch up with the healer, but nearly bumped into Remao instead. You better. Eva looked up at her mentor's unusual serious face. There was not a trace of sarcasm in his eyes. I am. He smiled approvingly. It's not going to be easy, especially after your friend's death. The mentor didn't try to embellish the truth and didn't trail off mid-sentence unlike the others. He spoke directly. Go to the library with Ramesses. I gave him something you'll need to fulfill your commission. Wear your mask and cape. I told you to hide them well. I buried the cape in a flower pot, but my mask is gone. What do you mean gone? I had to get rid of it when I realized they were going to search my house. I'll ask Ram to help me make a new one. Ramesses. Honestly, Ramesses is always being pulled into something that he didn't ask for. Ramesses was just sitting at the table, living his best life, wanted to eat with his friends. One by one, everyone got up and he was left to clean up the table. And now she's like, oh, I'm gonna get Ramesses to help me make a new one. And he's like, did I ever agree to this? He's always being pulled into the conversation. Poor man. Ramesses didn't understand what she was talking about, but he didn't say a word. Eva waved her hand dismissively. I have to go. Incorrigible woman. Thank you. But Eva could no longer hear him. Ignorance is the best way to get through Karens. As she got close to the stable, she heard two men's voices. Wow. Okay. Oh, I can't, but I want to. Can I? You know what? Let's just buy it. He looks great with it. And I won't have to pay for it. Any relationship you have with this character has approved. What? What is the relationship I have with this character? Isn't that the question here? What? People have the feeling I'm stepping into dangerous territories. This is nonsense. There's no point in looking further into it. Oh my god, both of my favorites. I'm sorry. Ooh. Hold on. Honestly, I mean, we should appreciate his abs, but this actually reminds me of this, so let's do this. He's a supreme king, so that's what's gonna happen. Your relationship has improved. Oh, wow. And with the... Nah. He's my man. There's not even a question no more. Then I'll need to find another healer. Livius and Eamon arguing. Livius raised his eyebrows, astonished. Another healer? Oh, where would you find another healer like me? What kind of foreign herbalist know about dark magic? I'm an expert on that too. Honestly, I just love when they're bitching at each other because I always have the feeling that we have something to do with it. I mean, I always took the romantic options, so it actually would make sense that these two are fighting each other, but, well. The healer glowered at the epistates as if they were the same height and position, defiantly without a hint of fear. Your obsession with dark magic is ridiculous. I love Livius. Eamon remained calm. His lips narrowed into a thin line were the only thing that betrayed his rage. Oof. I mean, he has been taught like this. Things are getting heated. I'd better eavesdrop. This looks interesting. I wonder if they'll fight. I shouldn't interfere. Why waste my energy? I wonder if they'll fight. I mean, why? I'll better eavesdrop. Why not? They're arguing, but why? Because of dark magic? Great timing, Eva. Cunning. People, I can't choose one path, apparently. I had the same problem with Heaven's Secret, too. I apparently always take both paths, and at the end it comes to bite me in the ass. Like, I can't just say truth, and I can't only say cunning. I always say truth and cunning, and then I don't have points to do neither choice. That's ridiculous. Take your vials and stay away from the body. You're not doing this anymore. Fine by me, but be prepared for Eva. Ooh! Eva, should I ask for permission too? No, I'm here. Olivia shook his head, nodding at something behind him. Eamon turned around. They both stared at her. Hello. She pointed to the healer. I wanted to talk to Livius of Paella. Can I? Eamon thought about it for a moment and then nodded. Speak. He's like, I'm not moving. It's dangerous to leave you two alone. I'm staying here. You can talk, don't worry, but I'm here. Then, catching the hardness in his tone, he suddenly added, Good girl, it's time for you to return to your normal life. You spend enough time in bed. He is red, he's blushing. He keeps on trying to mask his concern with harshness and arrogance, but you can actually, if you look closely, you can actually see through it. You can see his concern through that cold attitude. I don't think he's capable to hide it no more, like it's too late for you, sir. He then walked away to give orders to prepare the carrots. As if on purpose, Eamon walked very close to Eva. She even caught a whiff of his perfume oil. The epistate's face, however, was impassive. Maybe Eva imagined it? Nah, he be doing this on purpose. He's like, alright, I'm leaving you to it. But remember, there's only one presence that can make you completely lose your senses, and that's me. Keep it in mind. I love the provocation. That's a relationship I'm thriving for. She looked right at him. She was driven by an inexplicable desire to see something in his eyes. People, I'm just so good. It's a fact. That's the way their relationship works. They both want to fight over power. They're trying to always win the silent fight, the silent war. They are both fighting over who has more power over the other one. Now it seems that Eamon won, but Eva is not given up. Eamon looked back at her. It lasted only for a moment, but suddenly... Ooh! Love it! That's him saying, I know you into me. I know what my presence is doing to you. Did he just smile at me? Eva looked at him walking away, but the epistates didn't turn around. He just left. What did you want to talk to me about? Eva turned her attention back to Livius. She moved closer so that their conversation would remain between them. He immediately noticed a change in her mood when she spoke in an entirely different, serious tone. You examined Eastman's body. I knew you'd ask me about this. He couldn't have killed himself. Eva, Eastman was my apprentice, and I can't believe it either. I would have never believed it, actually. But I saw the body with my own eyes and touched it with my own hands. Path of honesty. No offense, but you could be wrong. It could have been easy to make it look like he killed himself. You're not an expert on this topic, so you could have been deceived. There are no injuries on his body, no broken bones. His lungs are full of fluid. He walked into the water himself. Now, that's something else. Yes, exactly what Eva is saying. It could be possible that someone tried to make it look like he actually drowned himself. As in, maybe Anubis wanted him to die. Or maybe someone with a higher power controlled him. And he was like, you're walking into the river. We're talking about dark magic here. Someone could have possessed him and forced him to drown himself. They're trying to trick us. Livius heaved a deep sigh. Eva, please leave it alone. Don't lose your head as the epistates did. The epistates? For reasons only known to himself, Isman took his own life. Maybe that's something to do with a girl. He mentioned someone but complained his position in society was too humble. Some people think that he was killed by the hunters. The hunters? That's nonsense. Then why would your epistates use his men to investigate this? To remove the suspicion from them, like we did when we stole more clothes. Sorry. I don't know. To make it look like it wasn't their doing? Me. Isma was walking outside the settlement at night. They might have grown suspicious, but not enough to kill an innocent person. The hunters didn't do this. In any case, he will be mummified and buried with honors and gifts according to your traditions. Let him go. Let his soul travel to the other world with dignity. Mummified with gifts? Is it because you drowned? It's your custom to arrange a special burial for those who drowned in the Nile, isn't that right? Yes, because they died like the god Osiris, who perished in this river. Even the poor are buried with honors, but I didn't think this would apply to us. Livia shrugged his shoulders. I don't like how stubborn you're being. You'll do something foolish. Me? I would never do something like this. I would resign myself in grief and silence if he died in a different way. You're clever, Livius. Can't you see? You understand me like no one can? That's 100% a love option. I can't. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Because, I love to play, but I put the voting tile on my channel for a reason. You all voted, you all wanted Eamon. So I can't. But I can do a friendship choice. You mean well, but I knew him like the back of my hand. Isman wanted to study, to help people. He admired you and watched the sun rise with a smile on his face. We kept no secrets from each other. We discussed our plans and wishes. We even knew each other's secret names. I never doubted his decision to become a healer. Eva looked for a hint of compassion in Livia's eyes. Do you really believe that, Livius? That he went to the river at night and... I saw the body, Eva. There were no signs of struggle and his lungs were full of water. We can come up with all the theories in the world, but the facts are always more important. You're one of the few people here who has a good head on their shoulders. Livius couldn't hold back any longer. He gently put his hands on her shoulders and repeated, his voice stern. If it is, I've indulged your antics many times, but you're crossing a dangerous line. Don't anger the hunters and don't risk your life. Do what they ask and don't meddle in other people's affairs. She snapped at him. Don't anger the hunters? Or what? What are they going to do to me? Is the fact that I want to know the truth such a bad thing? Bad enough to kill me over it? Or is the truth so terrible that it was worth murdering him for it? Ooh! I never talked about murder. No, you were. You said it, not me. It means you're thinking the same as me. If it were true, I wouldn't have argued with the epistates. You both seem to have lost your mind. He's like you both the same. Eva pushed Livius away from her. Then she added honestly, you're one of the few people I speak openly with. You can't disagree with me. It won't change anything. I can see your confusion. You can't hide it from me. Eva turned away, putting an end to the conversation. Livius didn't dare say anything else. He was afraid he was going to say something he shouldn't have. Livius is well disposed toward you, and he would like to help you. I love Livius. More people arrived at the stables. The hunters took the horses one by one to pull the chariots. They were going to Thebes. Eva didn't know if they'd made progress under investigation into the disease. Since Ramses suggested they meet at the library, she knew it meant they would discuss all the details there. She also needed to practice. Let's go. I'm also headed into the city. What for? I need to mummify his body together with another healer. I've done it a few times, but my mentor always helped me. It would be better if it weren't alone this time. This man's body will be embalmed. Unless Eamon really dismissed me, of course. Things don't seem to be going well between you two. Again. It would be good if you found out why. Remember? Well, it isn't as if he's going to tell me. And yet you should try, dear. You know how to get your way, I know you do. I am shipping these two. I'm so sorry. Because they're poking at each other, and I love when people are capable to get on each other's nerves. Ramses and Livius quickly got into the chariots. Eva approached Titian and Eamon to ask which carriage she should ride on. Have you recovered, Lassie Scribe? Good morning to you too, Hunter. Yeah, now asking to go practice. See? Things work out for the best, Neferred. The smile! You used to complain, and now you're eager to start learning. She looked up at the epistates, baiting her eyelashes. Yes, of course. Yeah, she's not. Seizing the opportunity, Eva said casually, the famous healer is coming with us. If he keeps going back and forth, how is he even going to deal with the disease? He talks too much. At least it's not boring. If I write with anyone else, I'm usually bored to death. They all have stone faces like sculptors. Eamon is like, did you actually have to add that? I don't like him, so why do you think you can say that you like him? Did you caught the episode's glare? See, I cannot. Eamon, why are you so easy for me to read? A little flustered, he added. Although his blabbering annoys me too, of course. He hurried off. He's like, before I say something else. I should try to find out the reason why Eamon is so ill-disposed toward Livius while I have the chance. Even a blind man can see you don't like each other. The hunters don't seem to like Livius. If I had my way, I'd find another healer. Even a blind man can see that you don't like each other. Each other? You and Livius. Before she could say anything more, she met the epistate's heavy gaze. Why are you so talkative now that there is no need for it? He is blushing! It does not seem that he's mad, he's blushing. And why is it that when I actually ask you a question, you immediately fall silent? Get in the chariot and no talking. Stupid Livius, how can I find out the reason for the epistate's hostility if he doesn't like me either? That wasn't very subtle, try again, I cannot. If I had my way, I'd find another healer? But that's a lie. The hunters don't seem to like Livius. His duty is not to be liked, but to do his job. It's hard to do when you're constantly being glared at. You must be speaking from experience. Yes, you dislike me for no reason. No reason. You're an accident waiting to happen. Honestly, I love the bitching from Eamon. He's just aware. He's just saying things as they are. I dislike you for no reason. What you talking about? You are literally always causing trouble no matter where you go. I love it. No reason. You're an accident waiting to happen. That's why I'm keeping an eye on you. Eva deliberately ignored his words and continued. I just don't understand what Livius did to fall out of your favor. I'm surprised you don't understand. I'm the only orphan studying among the children of the wealthy. They don't accept just anyone in Hermopolis. One of the few? Why? The epistates leaned over, a slight smirk on his face. It's annoying when a young boy who never knew trouble and learned from an influential mentor tries to teach you how to do your job. Oh, okay. Eamon thinks that Livius is a know-it-all. That he doesn't actually... He thinks that Livius thinks that only he knows everything and no one else can tell him anything because Livius apparently always knows all the answers to everything. You'd be annoyed too, I'm sure. It sounds a lot like me and Dia. So that's the reason? Eamon pointed to a nearby chariot. Get up there, you're traveling with Aaron. Aaron? If you make me ride this carrot of death, at least have the courtesy to stand next to me. Ooh! But she couldn't argue with Eamon. What would he think if she blurted out something like that? Even nodded obediently. But first, show me your bag. Thanks, said I didn't take anything with me. I forgot to take out the obsidian, but well, it's just a stone. The hunters searched Ramesses and Eva's bags. They didn't check Livius and the other workers. She saw the weaver Neath in one of the carriers. She wasn't checked either. He's not trying to hide his suspicions, but if the epistate believes that Eastman was killed by Sheshmu, how can he still suspect me? It doesn't make any sense. With one foot on the carrier already, Eva turned to the epistate. She spoke in a single breath so that she wouldn't change her mind. Epistate, is it true that you don't believe Eastman killed himself? Please don't scold me. Just tell me. It's tearing me apart. I won't ask for anything else. Amen. He actually feels a pain. Eamon looked at her silently for a few moments. Then he climbed onto the main chariot nearby. Eva had already given up any hope of receiving an answer when the epistate said, It's true. He didn't kill himself. It was a Sheshmu's doing. But this doesn't concern you. We'll figure it out and find the culprits. Move on, Eva. A Sheshmu? Why would he think that? That's nonsense. He sees them everywhere. Remao, Ramesses, Dia, and I are the only Sheshmu here, but we didn't do this. Or are there other dark magicians in this area? Or the guy. Shortly after they set off toward Thebes, Eva grabbed the chariot as hard as she could and tried to stand still. Stop looking at me. I definitely won't be holding on to your chest. Oh! Once at their destination, everyone went through their own way. Livius instructed one of the hunters to bring him the scrolls written by a certain healer, which he planned to use while working on the embalming. Eamon arched an eyebrow. I thought I forbid you from working with the body. Ramesses wanted to go to the hall where they usually practiced, but Eva caught him by his arm and gave him a quick, meaningful glance. She wanted to stay and listen. Are you being serious, epistates? Who will do it if not me? There are many good healers in Thebes. I want Livius to do it. Oh, yeah. I have the feeling I'm gonna start something if I say yes, do it. Because that's like actually standing up for Livius and going against Eamon, you know? But I don't think Livius deserves this treatment. This is difficult. I want Livius to do it because I don't think he did anything wrong. Eva spoke so suddenly that the man fell silent and turned to her. Hello, I'm here. I heard it. It doesn't matter what you want, Eva. Are you sure about that? I do believe that I'm your weakness. I do believe that you care what I have to say about that. Why is that? I'm his sister. His self-proclaimed sister. So what? He didn't have anyone closer than me anyway. And his family's not here. Can't you take my wishes into account? Eamon crossed his arms, staring at her intently. Livius looked surprised but remained silent. See, I did know that this was gonna be something like, I prefer him in a certain sense. I didn't choose Livius, but I think we have the right. Just imagine, wouldn't you prefer for someone close to you to digest the body of someone you loved? Or would you prefer a stranger to find out what happened to the body? Like, I think if we can say something and we can entrust this task to someone that we truly trust, it's better. Like, especially for her sanity. He's actually seeing this as us choosing Livius over him in a certain sense, because he's literally raising his eyebrows. And he's like, what is that supposed to mean? As in, why do you care so much if he does it or not? What's that supposed to mean? I don't trust other healers, period! I'm sorry, like, wouldn't you feel more relaxed if someone that you truly trust takes care of such an sensible topic? That's not what I'm asking about. See? See? Oh gosh, I knew that I did something. Oh god. Oh no, people, he blushing. No, sir, don't worry. Like, it's you. This was me actually just standing up for what I feel is right. It does not necessarily always has to do with you liking someone more. You can like a lot of people, but that does not mean that you're automatically in love with them. I trust Livius and in his capabilities of finding out the truth. We trust him and we appreciate his input on how we are feeling. He showed real concern. So I'm pretty sure that he would take on to this task with more precision than a stranger. The fact that Eamon is jealous though because of that, like, sir, I did not choose him over you. I'm just saying, if I can choose, I would rather Livius to do it than a stranger. Because I trust Livius more than a stranger. We are close.
That's not what I'm talking about. You two seem to get along well. Have you decided to team up?
Livius and Eva exchange glances into Ramesses in the back. Honestly, but Ramesses is fine. Like, Ramesses, like, stop it. I can't crush on 3 guys. She said confidently, I want the best healer to embalm my brother.
The best healer who thinks Eastman killed himself when it was obviously a murder.
A more detailed examination of the body during the embalming process will convince him. Eamon sensed that there was something more to Eva's request, but he couldn't quite figure out her motives yet. If the job is done by Livius, it will be easier for me to get to Eastman and his car. Another healer would make things more difficult.
Have it your way, Neferret.
Oh, people. He mad. He mad. And he's very sensitive about the topic, Livius, in general, because he thinks that he's a suck-up. So, since he already is on defense with Livius, us saying that we prefer Livius to do something that obviously seems to mean the world to us is putting Eamon on suspicion about our motives. Not in general, but he's questioning our motives to why we want Livius to do it. As in, why you want him to do something that obviously seems to be of such importance to you. Do you like him or something? Sir, it's okay. It's okay. I'm yours. It's okay.
I'm being kind to you. Study hard so that I won't regret this.
The episode's turned to people. If he could, he would murder Livius. Oh, God.
You should thank Eva. This duty remains yours. You better not disappoint me, Livius of Bella.
Ooh. Livius will be embalming Eastman's body. This will work in your favor. Your friendship has improved. See? Your friendship has improved. Eva sighed softly. Dia said Eastman was killed by the hunters. Eamon is sure it was done by a Sheshmu. Livius and Ramesses believe he killed himself. He's fit. How do I get the truth? Surely he won't remain a mystery forever. He didn't deserve to die this way. Eamon put his hand on his belt, grasping the hilt of the blade out of habit.
Alright, stop crowding the corridor. Aaron, you're staying here with Eva and Ramesses today, for the whole time while they practice.
The episodes glanced at Eva and added,
Keep an eye on them.
What's this about? At this point, I have the feeling that he thinks we're gonna make out with everyone we see. I can't.
I haven't forgotten what happened in my...
What? Are you afraid I'm gonna steal some books, sir?
I haven't forgotten what happened in my house, and I don't believe your excuses. If you're talking about the things that went missing, I was with her that evening.
People, this is just gonna make him even more mad, even more jealous. Oh God, yeah, he's like, oh, she was with me that evening. The neurons in his brain are malfunctioning, and he's thinking, you two were together that evening, doing what exactly?
If you're talking about the things that went missing, I was with her that evening. She didn't break into your house.
Eamon slowly turned to the healer.
Did I hear you right? Even I were at her house. I was teaching her the abbreviations of some terms, so that she could write faster. And why am I only hearing about this now? Because you didn't.
Livius is like, yeah, you're bitching at me, I'm whipping you in shape as well, like.
Because you didn't ask.
Clearly dissatisfied with that answer, the episode snorted.
I have no reason to believe you. I doubt your honesty as much as I doubt his.
Eamon pointed at Ramesses.
We weren't friends at that time. I have no reason to lie.
The other hunters were watching the conversation. The epistate's decision was going to determine how everyone else would treat Eva, whether they would suspect her or not. Eamon stared at Livius coldly and walked away saying,
"Alright, Aaron, come. You might be more useful to me."
Livius vouched for you. Eamon is now less suspicious. Aaron won't get in your way. He helped me as promised. Now I owe him a wish. I'm sorry, but she's gorgeous. Like, I just have to point it out again. Her bright blue eyes. Livius looked at Eva with a faint smile. She smiled back at him. What did the epistate say? We seem to be getting along rather well. There was no time to waste. Everyone got busy with their tasks. They sat down at their favorite desks. Having taken out all their utensils, they got down to work. They started talking in whispers.
We're doing it tonight.
What? Why don't we put a noose around our necks already? And the hunters will keep us company. Let me in on your plan, oh wise one. I'm sorry, I have to. How are you going to avoid the hunters and get there? And make it out alive? Besides, we don't have anything with us.
My brother will meet us later at the temple. He knows a secret way. Don't worry about your belongings. You told him where your cloak is, so he'll bring it. What about your mask?
Eva realized it was time to tell him about Chino. She hesitated, but then told him everything, albeit reluctantly. Ramesses stared at her wide-eyed. He didn't know what to say.
I know you were out of your mind, but not to this count.
Sir!
I knew you were out of your mind, but not to this extent.
What would you have done, huh?
Don't ask me that.
Ramesses. Why not? You recently babbled about us to the epistates and started asking me uncomfortable questions. You can do it, but I can't. Ramesses shook his head, but his expression softened.
I'd be surprised if you hadn't gotten into trouble behind my back. We'll have to clean up your messes. What else is there to do?
Maybe I'm not alone after all?
I'll help you make a mask. You need to buy an obsidian.
I already have one.
Is that so? In that case, I need to go find you a plate for the mask and crush the obsidian into powder. But before that...
Eva heard a familiar voice.
There you are, you two. It took me a long time to find you.
The Weaver? Neith entered the spacious hall of the library. Ramesses smiled at her in greeting, getting up from the desk. I don't understand. The Weaver looked around. After making sure they were alone, she started talking more freely.
I went to great trouble to help you, but I'm so sorry for what happened. The girl should be busy working, not left to grieve within four walls.
Eva got up too. What's going on? Neith rummaged inside her bag and pulled out... cloak? My... what? Eva was startled for a moment, but then quickly realized... You? She knows? Eva turned to Ramesses.
I figured it out after Tino's order.
And
your mentor. We've known each other for a long time. He knew who to run to for help.
The woman waved her hand. Her expression softened as she mentioned their strict and experienced mentor. Well, why are you doing this? You're putting yourself at risk.
Anya was born and raised in Upper Egypt. We were taught to help those who are blessed with dark magic, not chase them away. If it wasn't for Esheshmu, my mother would have never found out how cruel her new husband was to me while she was away herding cattle. I will be forever grateful to one romancers. Rema was younger back then. He was so handsome. He studied the art of working with dreams. It was the best time of my life.
Invisible god Remao, what other secrets are you keeping? Neith handed Ramesses his mask and cloak, and then she added,
Be careful. Your friend's body was moved to the house of Anubis. The hunters believe he was killed, and therefore he will be guarded by the Medjay.
The Medjay was an elite military group in the ancient Egypt, somewhat similar to the police. Okay. Isman has been brought to the house where bodies are embalmed before mummification. I'll be so close to him. Maybe I can get in touch with his ka? Soon after, Neith said goodbye and left. Taking the obsidian, Rem warned her.
Don't even think about Isman. You won't be able to talk to him right now. The soul is between the world of the living and the one of the dead. Not here, not there. He's nowhere.
What do you mean?
I'll explain it to you later. I'm going to take care of your mask first. You just keep practicing.
Yes, master. He left the room. People, like, if there's something I can't stand, is when people know how obsessed I am about a specific topic, and then they suddenly feel the need to add salt to injury. They know I want to do this and that I can focus on anything else, and they specifically then try to tell me, yeah, girl, don't think about it. It's not gonna work. Like, you can't do this. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Like, I know what I can and can't do. You don't see me always criticizing what you're doing. Eva had no choice but to keep studying obediently. She wanted to distract herself, to think about something other than the death of her close friend. Titian entered the hall an hour later. He was holding a tray in his hand. The hunter put it right in front of Eva. Eva looked up at Titian in surprise.
Don't look at me like that. I'm just following the orders of the Supreme Epistates.
Eamon said, keep her warm, clean, and put food on her table. The situation seemed even stranger to Eva. What? He sent me lunch?
Yes, he told me to feed you.
People, I did say this man is whipped. He's whipped. He's trying to pretend that he does not care, but he cares too much already. Like, he keeps on trying to mask his concern and how much he cares about us by being cold and arrogant towards us. Sir, you cannot pretend. Like, I already know.
Earlier he saw that you weren't getting any found in your back, so he thought you'd be hungry.
But why would he do that?
Maybe he took a liking to you.
Of course he did. Sorry. Girl, stop lying. Stop lying to yourself. You know that he likes you. You know very well that he hates me. Between love and hate is such a small streak.
And yet he asks about your health every day.
Sorry. Sorry. Like, people, you know you like a guy when you're feeling giddy when they're asking about you. You just know. Eamon has that power over me. I can't help it. Maybe I just love a very dominant man. I mean, at this point, we can all establish I want to be manhandled. I hate myself. I'm literally exposing myself. Oh, God. Find Eamon and thank him. Yes. Where is his room? His workplace?
Is he eager to thank him, or do you want to return the food?
I want to thank him for taking care of me.
Eat first and go. He's on the second floor, the first door to the left of the statue of Amun-Ra.
Eva nodded, her eyes lightening up in anticipation. Titian noticed her expression, and an amused smile appeared on his face because he knows too he ain't dumb. He left Eva alone so as not to embarrass her. He knows, like, that's the liking that's coming on the surface. While she was eating, Eva was overcome by a feeling of guilt that she'd already grown used to. As she was chewing, she thought about the meeting with Eamon and her commission. It was as if her life hadn't changed, even though such an important part of it was lost forever. Eva's eyes filled with tears again, but she knew how to calm down. She told herself that Eastman always wanted her to be happy. He would have been upset if Eva had been starving herself. When she finished eating, she got up from her table and headed for the corridor. Let's find our man. Let's find our man. I need to go to the second floor to the statue of Amun-Ra and then... Oh, God. The first door on the right, the second door on the right, the second door on the left, the first door on the left. I feel like it's the first door on the left. The first door on the left. Eva knocked. The epistate's voice came from behind the door.
Yes?
Eamon looked up when Eva timidly walked inside. We're all shy. Eamon is amused by how quickly he found him, and he likes that. Okay.
Eva.
He grinned. Was he happy to see her? People, I'm grinning way too much for this. That thought made Eva feel bold. She closed the door behind her. Not with her hand, ladies and gentlemen. Not with her hand. She, walked inside and then used her ass to close the door. Like, she bumped against the door and closed it shut.
You have something to say to me.
I'm sorry, he's so beautiful. Oh my God. Eamon looked up from the scrolls in front of him, turning his attention to her. Path of honesty. You send me food. Were you worried about me?
I know you didn't have anything with you. Besides, you haven't eaten much in the last few days. If you starve yourself, you'll fall face down into your own writing.
Oh, we wouldn't want the painting all over my face now, would we, Eamon? You care then? She blushing!
I care, Evitus. You're one of my people. I brought you here and I'm responsible for you. You're forbidden to harm yourself while you're under my care.
Wow. Honestly, I did say last episode that I respect Eamon for literally caring so much about people in general, but it actually warms my heart. Like, I'm not gonna use all that dirty talk. You all know I love to, but in this situation, I think it's important that we highlight this. He truly cares about people in general, but he wanted to let us know that he's willing to do something more for us. Because I don't see him asking around if everyone on the campground is okay. And him actually sending food to everyone else. He knows that Dia hasn't been eating. And she's part of his squad too. Did she receive food from Eamon's second in command? Did she receive food? She didn't. We were the only ones that received food. And Titian, his second in command, noticed that we were flattered by that we were feeling giddy, and he noticed as well, because he highlighted it. We were like, we know that he can't stand us, and he's like, and yet he's still asking for you. If someone keeps on asking about your well-being, because that person wants to know if you are recovering from the pain, then that means that they actually truly care about you. As in more than they care about someone else. What he's doing to us is more than what he's doing to the people on the campground. This is something special that he's doing just specifically for us. This is a treatment that he's not giving to everyone on this campground. Eva was a little embarrassed, but she managed not to look away. She said sincerely, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
I love this. Because they are always at each other's throats, always fighting for power and everything. They're both insanely stubborn. Sometimes even insanely short-sighted. Very impulsive. Lust-filled as well, let's be real here. And they both have guts. Sometimes even way too bitchy. Very dramatic. But they both have a pure heart. They have their heart on the right spot. And when they put aside their dramatic asses and that slight hostility that they have towards each other, and they actually show how they truly feel about each other, as in that they truly care about each other, it turns into such a cute scene. Eva let out a deep sigh. She felt very tense, wondering how Eamon would react to her spontaneous visit and whether he would chase her away. It was so hard for her to keep a straight face that she felt herself blushing. Eamon got up from his seat. Slowly, imposingly, he walked around the desk.
It was important for me to make sure you were all right and that your appetite had returned.
He leaned against his desk.
But I didn't expect you'd come to thank me personally.
And now he's taking us up on that offer. He's like, I took the bait. You could have just been, okay, thank you for nothing, and you could have just eaten it, but you didn't. You were like, okay, I was given food, and that turned me on that much that I had to come here to literally tell you that in person. He took the bait. Oh God. Eva clutched at the fabric of her clothes, plucking up the courage to say something important. She fixed her gaze on the floor and blurted out, "It's the least I can do in return for your help." Oh,
my help.
Oh, on the shore, I remember everything. Besides the fact that he said that he wanted us to be there because he wanted us to learn how to ride so that we could have a better future than the one he thought we had, with us being the goddesses of love. Oh, man. That's the first time where we see that he's lost for words. That's interesting. If it weren't for you, epistates, I would have drowned myself. I would have died trying to follow my friend. I remember your voice, your gentle hands on my shoulders, how you led me away. I wouldn't have gone without anyone else. No, I won't dare to say that out loud. Oh, I just realized what I read. This was her saying, if Livius would have tried to bring me away, or Ramesses, I wouldn't have given a damn. I only left because you were the one that led me away. As in, I allowed you to lead me away, even though I desperately wanted to follow my friends, because it was you, not for anyone else. Eamon was silent. He didn't expect Eva to remember. He was sure that she had been in a state of shock. Nah. This is not about blackouts, sir. You can have blackouts when you're in shock. You're so in shock that you have blackouts and then you don't remember anything. You just wake up the next day and you don't remember what happened after you had that moment of shock. But just because you're insanely shocked, as in the first stage of grief, that does not mean that you don't remember. Like, you deliberately are ignoring the fact. And your brain is hiding everything around you because you're that focused on your pain. Because the pain you have inside of you is that strong that it's literally blinding out everything else. As soon as the pain starts to subside, your memory finally is being unlocked. It's like you are finally acknowledging everything that happened around you while you were too focused on your own pain. That's all this is. It's not like you're having a blackout and you're forgetting everything. She was just in a state of shock. That's it. He wondered, did she remember his every touch? Maybe you did even more than that, but this is all I remember. Once I left the shore, everything went dark. Blackout. Is there anything else I should thank you for? Eamon lowered his head and pressed his lips together. His shoulders visibly relaxed.
Don't worry about anything, Neferid. I did what I had to do.
Eva smiled sincerely, openly. Still, I wanted to thank you personally. You know, I wondered why the other hunters respected you so much. I thought there wasn't an ounce of kindness inside of you. But I was wrong. The blushing!
I hope from now on you'll stop arguing with me then.
I can't promise you that, I'm sorry. This is the nature we have. This is the nature that the both of us have. We're like cat and mouse. I'm sorry, honey. Like, that's not gonna change, but I'm gonna show you my humanity more. Eva took a small step toward him and looked around the room. Why did she do that? What did she expect from that meeting? She knew it was wrong. No matter what she wanted, those desires had no place in her heart. Yes, they have every right in her heart. But Eva was out of her mind, just as Ramesses said. Therefore, she kept going with even more confidence. Yes! Let's go! Eamon watched her silently, trying to guess what was going through her mind. When Eva got very close, he stopped her from taking another step toward the desk. Towering over her, making her look at him, Eamon asked gently,
Where are you going?
I was just wondering. She couldn't help but look at the strong muscle rippling under his pale skin. How are you set up in here? She glanced at the line of blonde hair that started below his defined abs, only to disappear into his cotton trousers. Eva repeated mentally, How are you set up? As in, how do all these clothes fit? How do all these clothes fit on you? You're so large. How do the clothes fit? How come you don't need someone to take your measurements in order to create your clothes? She flinched slightly when the epistate gently touched her chin with his index finger, bringing her attention back to his face. She saw a dangerous spark flashing in his eyes.
If you're done thanking me, you should go back to the library. Are you planning to spend the night writing?
Yes.
Good, maybe there's some hope left for you after all.
Oh, you little bitch. I would actually love because of that, though, because now he's just trying to lift her spirits by saying that. Eva frowned, glaring at him. Nah, girl.
I should have you whipped for looking at me like that.
Are you gonna do the whipping, though? The epistate suddenly stilled. He looked at Eva more closely, pointed to the corner of her mouth and grinned.
We're in such a hurry to come see me that you ate your lunch in a rush.
Eva opened her mouth slightly, slowly running her tongue over her lips. Better? No, you just turned him on by doing that. She saw the epistate's eyes darken slightly, and she felt the same in his presence, yes.
Yes.
Woo! I feel the sexual tension. Eamon glanced at the thin fabric flowing beautifully over Eva's thighs. He looked up reluctantly and said,
Go, Neferud. He's like, go before I lose myself. You have a lot of work to do, and so do I. Don't run away today. Stay in the hall.
He's like, you're looking way too beautiful. If you're going out trying to meet up with people, they won't be capable to resist. Eamon is pleased that you came to see him. He put his hand on her waist and gently pushed her away. Eva obeyed, heading for the door. Good luck, epistates. Eamon watched intently as Eva walked away. In the meantime, she was mentally cursing at herself because she really didn't want to leave. Yeah, me neither. Stay there. I hate you all. Most of the hunters left the temple when the sun set. Eva didn't hear the rumble of chariots in the street, but didn't think much of it. She was waiting for Ramesses to return and started to feel glad that she was going to have a new commission. She knew she had nothing to worry about, and all her worries finally faded away. She'd never really feared death, and maybe even anticipated it. Now that Eastman was gone, her death would not bring pain to anyone. Eva was curious. Where could her desperation lead her?
How's the work going?
Ramesses silently entered the hall.
I brought everything we need. We're heading out soon.
Ramesses handed Eva her plate, and she put her things in her bag.
My brother will be here soon after all the hunters leave the temple. After what happened between me and the epistates, he stopped trusting us, if he ever trusted us at all.
I still don't understand why the epistate snapped at you, all of a sudden just like that. Maybe because he knows that we're close.
Something was stolen from them. He thought since I live in the house with them, it must mean I'm responsible.
Eva suddenly felt scared. Did she bring trouble upon all of them? What was stolen? Someone must have pointed a finger at us. That's outrageous. What was stolen? Maybe knowing that will help us point the finger at the thief? I hope it won't be me.
They lost some important papyrus, something about the hunter's work. But if it was so important, why did they keep it at the epistate's house instead of leaving it in the hunter's quarters?
It was not stolen from Eamon's house? Thanks, Seth, and I have nothing to do with it. But the question remains, who else is daring enough to steal from the hunters and causes problems apart from myself? Dia! Eva was struck by a thought. Lately, Dia has been acting quite recklessly, as if the iboga tincture has made her lose her mind. Maybe that's a possibility worth considering? Soon it was time for them to head out. As dark magicians, they sneaked out silently without being seen. At the corner of the building, hiding in the shadows of the night, their mentor was waiting for them. His arms crossed, he was leaning his back against the wall.
There you are. Something's wrong with the hunters. They're rushing around. They know something.
I didn't hear the chariots when they left the temple.
Because they didn't go anywhere. They stayed here to patrol Tebas. Great.
Hunters looking for prey. This is my chance to warn them. Express your concern about Dia and the iboga. I have a suspicion. Both brothers looked at me.
About what?
About who might be to blame for this. For the hunters being on high alert.
Well, don't just say it. We didn't just come here to chit-chat.
Eva gathered her thoughts. I'm worried about Dia. She's addicted to iboga and keeps sneaking out in the middle of the night. Don't look at me like that, Rem. I didn't have time to care about her. I had enough problems of my own. I noticed quite recently that when she goes to sleep, she's mumbling to herself, and there are pink spots on her skin. The other day I found an empty bottle of iboga.
So that's who was stealing it?
Yes, it was her, in those midnight walks.
We don't know if Dia stole anything from the hunters, but thank you in any case, Eva. We're all in this together. One shouldn't keep quiet about something like this. I'll take care of it.
Renown, period. The mentor is pleased with you. I'm just voicing my concern. Like, Dia is going too far. Like, she's actually mentally unstable now. I was willing to let it pass because she kinda seemed okay, but apparently people, like, if she was willing to do this just to meet up with Eastman, then that means that she was willing to let all of us go down to hell, as long as she could get what she wanted. Like, it wasn't just that she became crazy obsessed with iboga after Eastman died. Like, she used iboga before that already. And maybe, just maybe, she is that obsessed with Eastman that she was using the iboga so that she could sneak into Eastman's dreams, so that she could be with him then. It could make sense, because last episode she was like, what if I go into my dreams? Will I see him there? I went into Eastman's dreams, now he's gone. I can't see him anymore, so maybe if I go into my dreams, I will see him in my memories. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a possibility that that's why she was so obsessed with iboga, because she was that obsessed with the Eastman and she couldn't bear the thought of not being around him, because they were rarely seen at daytime because Eastman was always preoccupied with Livius. He was his apprentice. The mentor clenched his fists and said through gritted teeth,
"Being close to the hunt is definitely isn't good for you. Do you want to die? Or do you want us all to die? Or are you angry at us? It's Theo who messed up. You should watch out for each other. If one gets caught, everyone gets caught."
Ramesses didn't say anything. He didn't even look at Eva, but she kept silent too. They weren't going to expose each other. If their mentor found out that one of them told the epistates about the Sheshmun, the settlement, and the other secretly fulfilled a commission behind his back, he would have killed them both with his own hands. I know for sure what she stole, the hunter schedule. But if I tell Rem, he will take it away. I need to use it myself to get to Eastman at the right moment and avoid the hunters. Rema will immediately understand why I took the schedule from Dia, and he won't let me keep it. The mentor nodded decisively.
"It's time. It's a lousy night. Many hunters stayed in Tebus. They're on hunt for dark magicians. We mustn't get caught. In that case, maybe we should call this off. It's dangerous."
I don't remember you being so scared, Ram.
Everyone should be scared for their life. If you're not scared, then I'll be for the both of us.
Ramesses. Honestly, he's the voice of reason in this particular situation. He's like, if you're not scared, I'm gonna be scared for the both of us. Like, we both need a little bit of being scared. This is gonna end badly for both of us if we get caught.
Everyone should be scared for their life. If you're not scared, then I'll be for the both of us. Don't be afraid. We won't be alone. Just must sometimes help each other.
They dived into the winding alleys, trying to stay in the shadows. They changed directions as soon as they heard footsteps, stopping every now and then when unsure if they were going the right way. Eva had never seen her mentor so quiet and focused. He was like the rustle of the wind in a dark alley, alarming and elusive. Remal finally stopped in an inconspicuous alley, making sure there was no one around.
"The building is the Theban house of Anubis. All those who are waiting to be embalmed before burial are sent there."
Eva looked at the tall building with its simple but rather elaborate facade. Its walls were clad in obsidian, the same material that Ramesses used to make her mask. Obsidian held on to the warmth of the soul, to its essence, the Ka. That was why dark magicians used obsidian dust to make their masks. It helped the human soul to stay around for longer, and it was also important material in the embalming process. How do we get in? I'm guessing it's not empty and with all the doors open. I bet such an important place must be heavily guarded, just like the temples.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Am I?
What's your plan, brother? The healers will send home in the mid-year, go on duty at dawn. The house is empty right now. The body you need is on the second floor.
Ramesses looked at his brother, uncertainty and admiration in his gaze.
How did you figure this out? I didn't figure out anything. The chief priest and herbalist of this house owed me a favor. We studied together.
The priest is a former Sheshmu?
He learned dark magic, fulfilled a few commissions, and then continued his training in herbalism. He showed great promise, but his current occupation is safe and more profitable.
The weaver Neith, the priest of Theban house of Anubis, the chief priest of the temple of Thoth. Remal seems to have allies everywhere he goes. We have so much to learn from him. I put all my energy into studying to show him how grateful I am that he took me under his wing. Wait, Eastman's death couldn't have been his doing, could it? Why would it be? I don't think that he gets anything out of Eastman dying. Remal took a step back, whispering,
"His name is Odit. His sister wants to know who killed him and why. You have 2 hours.
The mentor disappeared into the darkness so silently and seamlessly that it was as if he merged with the shadows. Okay. It was so obvious that this is where it was gonna stop. People, I really have to stop playing honesty and cunning path. I really do. But I don't know what to do. I'm always going with my gut feeling, and apparently I'm insanely honest and insanely cunning as well. Like, there is never an episode where I only take honesty. I always take both. This is gonna bite me in the ass later. I just know it. But anyways, this next episode was so cute as well. I literally spent all of my gems, but that does not matter. I'm gonna pay. And let's see what next episode is gonna be like. I hope you enjoyed this episode with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye!